do the intro so he can have some insight?
Okay, we are live. He already here. Mr. Gibson is here already.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Gibson is also here. Happy weekend to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Happy weekend to you too.
I much appreciate you for that, though. I do appreciate you for that.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, Miles, what's up? All good? You're muted, Miles.
Yeah. We bless God, bro. Just been here today. Today's Saturday now. We have to rest and Sunday get prepared again for another journey. So it just went good, bro.
All thanks to God, though. All thanks to God. And again, a very happy Saturday to all our followers and viewers. We want to say you are welcome again to join us on a continuation of Your Identity in Action, where we're going to be looking at how we can rebuild our broken identity. So tonight is going to be quite interesting. Like I said last night, it's going to be impactful. We're going to share practical insights. I mean, you just sit back, listen up. You can take your journal, your pen, you write down some points, invite your friends to join us because tonight is super heavy and super insightful. With Without me delaying your time tonight, I just watched the arrival of one of our panelists, Miss Queen. Happy Saturday, ma'am. How are you? Queen. Okay, I think she's. All right. So, Mr. Gibson, can you speak to the people?
Oh, okay. So thank you,
Philip, are
Dolo.
you
So
getting me?
Yes, you are audible now. Yes, ma'am, you are audible. It's like she's kind of faced with some network issue. So, Mr. Gibson, can you speak to your people?
yeah, okay. So let me say good morning from my end to all of you listening to
You guys
this
don't.
platform. Uh, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Miss Queen, can you go back off and come back on because there is a delay in your voice, please. Please go ahead, Mr. Gibson.
Yes, Dolo. So let me say good morning from my end to all of our listening audience, our viewers, supporters, and everyone for this show. So it's today having to be the third day to the no third day of the Chinese New Year. So everywhere the fireworks and everything like that. So and I hope if you hear that sound, don't feel that it's a bomb or missiles because there is fireworks everywhere and yeah. So that's
Got
it.
you.
Greetings to everyone. I'm happy to be here again.
Yeah. I mean, happy independence to you guys out there, though.
It is actually their New Year. Their independence
Oh,
is
New Year.
October. Yeah, New Year.
Okay. So, New Year as in what?
According to their calendar, they just got in 2026.
Really?
Yeah. So they are
That's quite
celebrating that.
interesting to know.
Yeah. So, uh,
Wow. That's quite
so it
interesting
was
to know.
it was this gone Tuesday it started. So they are still celebrating for this entire week.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you guys, though. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Happy Chinese New Year to you also.
All right. I like the name. I like the name Chinese New Year. It's great, though.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, happy Saturday to you, Miss Queen. How are you? Oh, Queen has gone. All right. All right. So let's get to business. This is an
Why is
official greeting coming. Yeah.
No, I was asking for Queen and what's the other Quebec. I haven't seen them since the first week.
Yeah, they've been busy though, and we were so
Uh,
blessed to have Queen on tonight. They've been
mhm.
busy. Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta balance the gender on the show. That's why I'm asking for them though.
right, 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 right,
Yeah.
right. Like we have examinations, up, and mine will be actually next week. Yeah, so I'll have a very busy week, beginning Sunday upward. So they've been busy. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you for the concern, though.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
greetings to you, Quebec. Greetings to you, Queen. Greetings to every one of you. If you are
Yeah.
listening,
Queen
greetings
is
to
back.
you. Yeah.
Queen
Okay.
is back now. Queen, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I have fluctuation in my internet.
Yeah, sure, sure. We thought that. Yeah, can you speak to your people?
I cannot hear Queen, so I have to go and come back.
Okay, okay,
The
sir.
internet, the internet will not back.
Okay, I can hear you now.
You're audible, Queen. You can go ahead. Speak to your people, please.
Okay, so let me start by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening as per location you are following from. The name remains constant. I'm Queen Annie, currently residing in India, a panelist of tonight's show. So I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Mr. Gibson said that he missed you guys, you and Quebec. So we just told him how busy you guys have been so far.
Oh, really, really.
Yeah. Okay. So straight into tonight's episode and our conversation. Good evening to everyone. Today we are discussing something many people experience, but we just have few of them talking about it openly, right? Just few people who are vulnerable to talk about their broken image. We have few people who can openly talk about their broken identity. They talk about their mistakes they have made in life. Not many people want to be vulnerable, but the truth is, we have many people who are currently experiencing a broken identity, a broken image, and they have made a lot of mistakes. But tonight, we're going to open this platform to them to share, their experiences with us in the comment section, or you can, call on the phone so we all can talk it out. If you just want to be like Nicodemus, just listening to us, we also appreciate that, but we encourage you to write down the points, the guidelines, the step by step, principles you can follow to be able to rebrand yourself, to rebuild your identity, to rebuild your character, to rebuild your image. So it's important. And like when I made the pronouncement about tonight's episode, I was like, have people ever, kind of wonder that they made mistake, that those mistakes make them to question themselves? Like Mr. Gibson, have you ever made a mistake that particular mistake being made by you, you kind of question yourself about that? What say you on that?
Yes, Dodo. I have made several mistakes, and I when I noticed and when I realized that I was in error, I regretted it, and I tried to take some necessary step to erect checkpoint and correct those mistakes. So I think in our life we are not going to be 100% perfect, but we should always be in a constant habit of realizing our mistakes whenever we made them. Yeah, I think it's very important. That's why we make, it makes us to grow better. It makes us to grow, to be the best version of ourselves.
Right. So the realization aspect is key to coming
Yeah.
back to rebuilding our broken identity. That's great. We just have to realize that and admit that yes, I have erred. Yes, I have messed up. How can I clean the mess? Then we start to find those solution because you cannot find a solution to a problem which you don't know the root cause. So once you identify the root cause, you recognize your weakness, you can be able to build on those weaknesses and turn them into your strength. With that being said, I would like to, hear Queen out on this. Queen, have you ever made a mistake that made you question who you are? Just be vulnerable to us on the internet today.
Uh, yeah, so the topic is other interesting, and I've done other mistakes that at times I feel guilty that, but the good thing about it, I came to the realization when times goes back that what I did, it was not right, but yet and still I get confident that I can do better if I improve. Even the Bible talks about it in the book of First John. It says, if you say you have no sin, you got God a lie. In verse 9, it says, if you confess your sin, I love verse 9 so badly. It says, if you confess your sin, say, I go, I'm just and faithful. That tells you, once you come to the realization, what I've done is bad. You come to the realization, God is saying He's willing. So that's a consciousness of men. I've come to that point before. Yeah. And I realized what I was doing, I was not right. And then confidence pushed me to tell me, if you do the right thing, if you do the positive thing, you can improve more than this. You can be who you are, who you
Right,
want to be. It's not late. So that's it. Thank
right.
you.
I like that. I like the fact that you also made mention of your consciousness, the human consciousness. So once we kind of give attention to our consciousness, we be able to clearly recognize, we be able to clearly acknowledge our wrongs and our rights. Not only the bad things, but also the good things, because our conscience speaks to us. And you kind of put it that once we have acknowledged or we have identified the mistakes being made by us, we should have the confidence. And that's it. We should have the confidence. We should be resilient, Mr. Gibson, like coming back from failure. So, resilient in this life matters a lot. Every single person, from a child to a senior citizen, is required of us to have this skill. Like we talked about skill in January, the soft skill, Myers, you remember. So it's important that we build this, resilience within us. Whenever we erred, whenever we failed, whenever we make mistakes, we kind of give attention to our conscience, like Miss Queen said, and we have the confidence. We wear on our garment of confidence to come back stronger. What say you, Myers? Let's hear you out on this thing. Tell us the mistake. Better still, you don't tell us the mistake, but tell us how those mistakes made you feel.
Thank you so much, Philip, and thanks to all of our followers for joining us tonight again. And thanks to my own senior brother, Lee T. Gibson, and also a very big thanks to Miss Queen Annie for joining us tonight. So, Philip, men are not mistake free. That's the first statement I would like to make here today. Every time we try to progress in life, we face some
Great.
challenges that with us making a mistakes, and we are not mistakes free. So if anybody feel
Right.
within yourself, oh no, I'm free from
Right.
mistakes, you are definitely in error. Philip, a lot of times I have made a mistakes that make me to regret. I have made a mistakes that should have
Hmm.
led me to a place. But you know what bring us back when we make these mistakes? It's because we retrospect,
No, sir.
right? We conscientize ourselves and say, wow, I think this one I'm doing is not correct, right? There is something in us we know about our own conscience, right?
Right.
Our own conscience speaks to us and say, no, what you are doing is not correct when you continue being in the art. Because there are two things. Our mistakes we made sometimes will just lead us to those places that we don't want to find ourselves. But sometimes when we quickly retrospect on it and quickly return,
Right.
right? What happened at the end of the day? We come back to our senses.
Hmm.
Because even the Jesus that we follow today, he also, he also like when I
Right.
saw the thing, I saw rise and fall. Even Jesus also he fall. But do you know
Hmm.
why? At the end of the day, he woke up, he did not left there. He
Let us
talked
know.
about the
Hmm.
righteous, right? In the book of Proverbs, talks about
Hmm.
the righteous man will fall what? 70 times what? Seven. So to tell you how
Seven.
sometimes you that want to walk according to you, you want to walk in perfection, mind you, there'll be a lot of cornerstones that will come, a lot of stones that will come
Hmm.
away. Sorry, but this stone says when you fall, you can remain there. So in my summary, I'll tell you that Philip, I have made some mistakes that make me to regret, but yesterday I decided to come back, to myself, and this is how we have been today, and God has been carrying on through. So men are not mistake free. Thank you so much.
Wow. Men are not mistake free. And you highlighted God saying unto us that we ought, it is clear that we are going to fall 70 times. Now, Mr. Gibson and Miss Queen, the first 70 is 1. Then the next 70 times is 2. The next other 70 times is 3, up to 7 times. So if you do the math, it's actually 490 times we are to make mistakes in this life. See the beauty of that. So how many times, Mr. Gibson, have you made mistakes? Can you record that? Can you record that?
Well, I cannot recall, but I think I have made several mistakes, even more than that, no more. So
More than 490. Oh, wow.
yeah. Sometimes it may not be, some major mistake that can set your life back, but it could be a mistake too that it could delay. It could spoil your character. It could it could delay your progress, and just so forth. Mistake is mistake. Yeah.
That's it. Mistake is mistake, no matter the gravity of that. Yeah.
You can
And
make
Miss
mistake
Queen,
and break your own phone. You can make mistake and throw your own phone down. It's poor. That's mistake.
let's have it. Let's have it. I like that. I like the way
Yeah.
you be practical. And Miss
Yeah.
Queen, have you surpassed the 490 mistakes in your lifetime?
Obvious. I have done more than I've had a lot of mistakes in life that I don't even record. I don't even know
Right.
record that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Niles, how about you, though?
Philip, let's go to the
Yes, sir.
story of the woman with the issue of blood. The woman who was found in adultery. Do you hear what Jesus told those
Yeah.
guys, right, who were standing there? Say, you say you haven't done anything before, you clean. Be the first man to
Right.
stone a woman. Where
Right.
are those rocks? Everybody try to drop it one after the other. So at the end of the day, when we look at that entire story, we understand that even the Papa then they later getting around, they were squeezing them. While they try to take their cool war. That's the reality about it, but they were just doing it on the surface. So in our faith, we have made some terrible mistakes. Terrible mistakes we have made,
Right.
but yet still we have shift, right? Because because sometimes your mistakes can lead you, like I said previously, can lead to those places that you don't want to find yourself. But at the end of the day, when you make that mistake, and what Jesus said, when you fall, don't remain there. You must get up again, right? But listen, my brother,
Right.
we have made a lot of mistakes, but yesterday, the day we come across, those things are supposed to change on, it will change you. But we have made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. Right. Right. I got that. And I mean, myself, I'm kind of questioning you guys, but I'd be like, come on, Dodo, how many times have you made mistakes? Yeah. And I mean, it's uncountable. We just can't count. We can measure our mistakes in life to the sand on the beach. The sand on the beach. Because from your very 5 years old up to the day God is going to call you, to rest. Along the way in the pipeline, we all make mistakes. That very small thing you do, yeah. And Mr. Gibson said, even by you throwing your phone, to the ground, a mistake. Yeah. You just stepping on someone's toe. It's the mistake. It's actually a mistake, though. So if we kind of count all of those, small things we do, the big things we do, I mean, we just can't keep a record of them. And I don't know if there is someone in the world who has ever kept a record of their mistakes they've made in life. I really want to see that. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so Dolo, we're talking about mistake, and my mind just ran to to this thing called intergenerational ethics. So
Okay.
what it talks about So intergenerational ethics, it says your action today, it should not jeopardize the future of the future generation. So it means
Right.
that whatever thing you are doing now, you should be
Hmm.
careful, you should be perfect in it, you should make
Hmm.
sound decision, because if
Hmm.
it will be a mistake, it will affect
Hmm.
the future generation. And some of us, we are bearing some of the consequences of the decision our parents took way back before they even born us. Maybe some
Fact.
of us, we should have been well settled, our foundation would have been laid properly, but because maybe our fathers, our mothers, they took some decisions that were wrong. So at the end
Fact.
result, we are bearing the consequences. So that's why generational ethics, it teaches that you should not take action or decision today that will affect the future. So that will
Fact.
affect yes. So I think in alignment with mistakes, because if we are not careful, that is a great and big mistake. And even our
Hmm.
nation today, like Nigeria, our past leader, they make those mistakes. Like
Hmm.
when some of them were taking some decision, they did not, think about the future. Then they went and did it
Right.
according to the moment. So at the end of the day, we as country, we are bearing the consequences. So I think we should be mindful of that. So that's why I wanted to share. Thank you.
Right. I like that concept you just share with us. Is it in your management course?
No, this is in supply chain management. I did my bachelor in supply chain management. So that,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that was one of my
Mr.
courses that I did.
Mr. Gibson, we need people like you to actually speak more on that. I think, Myers, we're going to throw a light on the intergenerational, what?
Intergenerational ethics.
Okay, intergenerational ethics. Myers, what's your view on this? It's a great concept that needs to be taught onto the public. I mean, many of us don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Philip. Like I usually say to myself, right? Whenever my father is, when he's advising me, and when he tries to tell me those mistakes that he made, that these are things I did, that wasn't right, and they try to play on me, and I always conscientize myself not to follow that path, because whenever
Hmm.
I try to follow that path, what happened? I'm going to be in the same era he was in, because this
Right,
this generational mistakes is something that affect our society, and
right.
it's something that we have to work on very speedily, right? Like he was
Hmm.
saying today, sometimes we make some law that we don't think about the future. Sometimes we make some
Hmm.
decision, we just look at it temporarily, but it's something that affect us seriously at times to come. So I'm like, we have to be careful. Those those decisions, those things that we bring to law, those things that we bring to society, because whatever we do today, like I usually said previously, live after us tomorrow, and we have to be very, very careful. And
Right.
this is what harming our country today. This is what harming our country today, because
Hmm.
some of these laws, some of these rules and regulations that was passed before then, now we reach to a place where these rules are rules that need to be visited, right? And then our people are
Hmm.
saying, but visiting the one gonna cause this, gonna cause this, gonna cause this. They are still looking at it critically, but now it's affecting our society. You understand? It's affecting our society. Let's
Hmm.
take, for example, one of these things that talk about child right, right? Child right,
Hmm.
giving the child that right, to do whatever at any point of time, to do whatever they want to do, and what have you, being so free. Today you see child right have become a serious problem, that or child can misbehave on the parents, and the parent want to chastise that child, but they are so afraid, because in chastising that child, when the child reaches to the law, what happens at the end of the day? You find yourself where you are not supposed to be. So now
Hmm.
people want to reverse that statement. Now it has become a serious thing. They cannot do it. So now the time you see child, we insult their elderly people, will do whatever thing, wants to do. And our society today are being affected seriously. So I think we need to work on this and make sure that, we cannot go to that way that we used to be before, but rather we can live, in a dispensation that will help us to have a modern rules that will guarantee us, for the betterment of our society as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, Queen, what say you on this thing? Intergenerational ethics, though it's kind of, different from our topic tonight. rebuilding our broken identity, but it's also, a complement to the topic, and which, of course, I request that the Myers Television can look into that so we can have a whole show of this topic next week, because next week will actually be our last week in February, which we are talking about faith, value, and identity. So I think the CEO, Quinn, and the rest of the guys, we can look into that. We just make a whole plan, and thank God we have Mr. Gibson here. He can come on again, so we can dive deeper into this concept. But before we proceed, further, Miss Quinn, what's your own view on this intergenerational ethics?
Thank you so much to our host Philip. Like when our guests were speaking on this, what dropped to my mind, there's a saying that says that you cannot keep doing the same old thing, the same old pattern, and then accepting the same results, and you are not making changes in that. There's some mistakes our parents made today. The issues of explaining their mistakes to us to tell other. My child didn't go to school. I was more influential myself into unprofitable things that caused me to be like this today. The issue of explaining these things for us to now as a young person to identify these things, because when you identify your family, these are things like some family, since they were born, they keep following the same pattern in the sense that before you reach 18, somebody now even get 2 children, 3, So you have to see it as a young person. If you are born in such family or a lot of things, you have to see it as a young person. This thing my family is in, this is a pattern that keep beating this family. What can I do as a young person to change this, to move their mentality or to break their patterns or barriers in my family? But you see, people just live their life hopelessly. Like nowadays, you see young generations dressing what they want to, they do anything they want to, and forgetting about the future. Sometimes now, when time go back, they want to, they want to explore, be into politics, how they track people when it comes to that. I don't want to mention a new person, in our settings, our library setting that, dressing in the way she feel like because she feels she was a miss, blah blah blah. When reality hits her, when she enter into politics, we saw how they dress up to now. So as a young person, you have to be careful in as much as you make decision to think about tomorrow in the next 2-3 years. How will they infect my generation or make positive impact on my life, to my children? Have you seen in a setting where they refer to the guy, oh, there's a jungle child. You don't know there's one who's a prostitute, who's a joy, have the care, who's to drink, being a quarter days or child, because they were making that decision, never thought of the child, the children that will born tomorrow, the child will get tomorrow, what becomes of them. So we have to be careful in as much as we want to make decisions or live our lives, but we have to be very careful. So thank you, Mr. Host.
Thank you, ma'am. And I like all three, points being raised by you all. It just boils down to regret. Once there is an existence of this concept within a particular person, what happens in the latter time is what we call regret. And sometimes the regret feels heavier than the mistake itself. Just like Queen said, she just summarizes everything, being spoken about Mr. Gibson and I. Giving an example of that, I don't know, representative, aspirant, or lawmaker, or XYZ. So, like we said yesterday, after you have posted all of those things on social media, blah, 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 in 5 years, come on. Can you still appreciate yourself? Will you still appreciate yourself? That's the thing. So the regret feels heavier than the mistake we make. The regret, it feels heavier than any mistakes we made, because it speaks to your conscience. It speaks to your conscience. That's why it's advisable by one wise man who said that we ought to be consciously minded of what we do. And this lady also sang it in her song, that everything we do, we should do it with an applied conscience. Looking at tomorrow, let people hand not being, pointed at us negatively or for the bad. So tonight's question is, can someone rebuild their identity after damaging it? Let's pause for a moment, guys. Let's take a pause for a moment and let it sink in our minds. Even our viewers, you can pause for a moment, stop whatever you are doing right now, please, and just pause. Can I rebuild my broken identity? Can someone rebuild their identity after damaging it? Let's pause and think through it and come out with a great and life-changing answers, guys. And I think, yeah, regret plays a crucial role. Why? Because once you have a conscience, once your conscience is alive, once your conscience is alive, your regret is a proof that whatever you do today should be done in a very good manner. So our regret is a proof that our conscience is alive. And that there will be no day, Miles, you want to live with a bad conscience. You want to live with a disturbing conscience. Like you are confused in your head. I'm disturbed in my head. Because my conscience is telling me, yo, man, you did not do well. And then the regret pops out. And also, whenever we feel that regret, then there is a sense of care that comes to us. But guess what? This regretting does not, only rebuild our identity. So the question to us on this platform now, the question to Mr. Gibson, Mr. Myers, and Miss Queen, is regret a punishment or a teacher? Mr. Gibson, let's hear you 2 minutes. And we're going to be accurate with the time. Please, guys, you have to observe the time. 2 minutes. I'm going according to the time of the live because we're going to dive deeper into these things. So, Mr. Gibson, you have 2 minutes. Is regret a punishment or a teacher?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible to us.
Well, I think it's a punishment and it teaches us lesson as well, because there are a lot of people who are living in regret, and some of them they are bearing the consequences of their actions. So that is regret. So they are regretting their action. So some of them, even if they are not strong enough, they do a whole lot of things. So regret is it's a punishment to us. So that's why we have to be very mindful of our decision, of our actions, and all the mistakes we made. We should try to to acknowledge that. If we want to rebuild, we should acknowledge the mistakes and we should correct those mistakes and erase some checkpoints that will help us to improve ourselves. But regret, if someone lives in regret, I think we have medical practitioners here. They can say that if you are consistently living in regret, where it's a trauma, it plays on your mind, something like that, your emotions, I think it takes away something from your health. So it has it has punishment attached to that, and it has consequences. So it's a punishment from my point of view. Thank you. I think I'm working time.
Yeah, you working time. You working time. Thank you. So let's move to Queen. Let's move to Miss Queen. Miss Queen, is regret or punishment or a teacher?
Thank you so much again, Mr. Philip. From my perspective, I have to balance with both sides. I see regret to be as punishment, much as you do something and it comes to achieve nothing. You live in that regret. That's a punishment of your actions you did, it never achieved. So that's a punishment. Also, I see it to be as a teacher, because the more we regret of our actions, the more confidence kicks in and tells you that this is your regret. What you have to do, you have to pick up from there. You can start, you can make again. So I see it from the negative aspect, it'll be a punishment. From the positive aspect, it'll be a teacher that teaches great life lesson that you have to do better more than before. You have to improve more than before. When the opportunity is given you, you have to do this. You have to try new patterns, and then things will work for you. From my perspective. Thank you so much for the time.
We do appreciate your perspective being, thrown on this question. So, Myers, can we hear you out on if regret is a teacher or a punishment?
So thank you so much, Philip. Regret can be a teacher when you are being ignorant to those things, you are not being advised to it. But regret can be a punishment when you are well informed about it. In fact, you were told that this particular thing you're doing is going to harm you. You are being informed about it, but because you feel like you want to try on your own, and you decide to try it on your own, at the end of the day, the Bible says there is no sin go unpunished sometimes, right? Every time in the Bible, right, you read the Bible tells you no sin go unpunished. Everything a man does today, live after him tomorrow. So it becomes a punishment when you know about it and you do it. But it is not a punishment like once you don't know about it, right, and you do it out of ignorance, it's become sometimes, something that it is not, yeah, a punishment really. Yeah. So I'll stop there for now.
Thank you, sir. So, I mean, the answers being provided to this question, they are more like we being on two sides. We are not taking one side. That's my analysis from you guys, perspective to this question. Then I have this question that comes out of this question, which is a follow-up question. Is regret avoidable, Miss Queen? Because we're talking about rebuilding our broken image, rebuilding our broken identity. So, in order for one to rebuild his broken identity, for her to rebuild her broken identity, is it a way possible that we avoid regret? Let's say you out, ma'am. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, so I think that in some way regret can be avoidable in as much as you have to see, like I said with my prior explanation, you have to see those places that your parents, that all of your peers, those that you are imitating, those you are following their example, have made mistakes, to correct that, to work in that line that it will be beneficial to you. I think that somehow regrets can be avoidable. Absolutely, everything it cannot be, because all more are open to mistakes. Everything cannot be 100%, but from the positive aspect, regret can be avoidable in some way by doing the right thing. How can you do the right? Maybe someone want to show my eyes. I cannot do the right thing. Those that you are looking
Exactly.
up to, perhaps your parents, perhaps your role model, those that you follow, listen to people's mistakes. These are things that you see and then identify, these things, and then follow the right trajectory. So that's my intake on that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, Miles, what are some of those things? What are some of those values, those characters that one can exhibit, one can consistently practice so as to avoid regret, if regret is avoidable?
Philip, the first thing I will tell you, Philip, is listening to advice or advices. You as an individual, you listen to people who are around you in order to stay away from being, regretting, right, your action. You listen to advices. And secondly, you have to be very, very careful in what you get into. Be very, very careful. Read between the line. Read the side effect. Read the benefit and like we said, the advantage and disadvantage of certain things you try to get in. There are a lot of us today we regret because at the end of the day we don't read between these things. Let's take for example, you want to come to India, right? You want to come to India for study. Yes, somebody is here. They are telling you a whole lot of. They are giving you a whole lot of information. They are giving you a whole lot of things about India this, India that, right? But right away you don't read to understand, you don't read to other reach to other people to ask them for, what's your own take and other things, because sometimes we say we live in a society now where we are afraid, you understand it, how people will think this and that, other things, right? You don't ask people for that, other things, in fact you try to get into it. At the end of the day, you come while you are being told by that person, it's not something that you know that is happening. What happened at the end of the day? it becomes serious problem for you. So in order to avoid that, what you need to do is you have to read between the line. I would say read between the line is something that will help us. So thank you very much, Philip.
Yes, Miles, when you talk about read between lines, it's still unclear to us. It's still unclear to the common man.
Thank you, Philip. So you must know the advantages and disadvantages of that particular thing before getting into it. Know the side effect of
Smack.
it, know the harm of it, know those things that you will gain and those things that you will lose. Try to understand deeply about that thing you're about to get in. Because if you don't have deep insight of it before getting into it, at the end of the day, what become of you? Okay, Philip. Another thing I want to say, Philip, let's take for example, Philip, Philip, you want to go and join Susu, right? Let's say for example Susu. You want to go and join Susu, right? And once you join the Susu, you now understand how the Susu runs. What happened at the end of the day, it become problem. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay. So there should always be a follow-up question to whatever decision we may want to take. So, taking this scenario, let's take a look at, me offering help to someone. And I know this thing that I want to offer to this person as a gift is in a very bad condition, a deplorable condition. And I'd be like, I don't care. First of all, the person does not know, the status of this thing. The person does not know the value of this thing. The person does not know how this thing is. So let me just take it and just give to that person with a smiling face. I'm all wearing all my smiles, laughing, whereby that item which I'm giving as a gift to the other person is very bad. It's in a bad condition, but the person does not know that this is expired, that the expiration date of this item, has reached. So Myers is saying to us that whatever decision we may want to take, whatever thing we would like to do, there should always be a check and balance. If I do this, will it be right or wrong? If I do this, will it help someone or is it going to hurt someone? So we should always be between those lines Maya talk about. Is it right or is it wrong? Will it help or will it hurt? So always looking at help and hurt, looking at good and bad. So it's important if we want to avoid being, people of regret or living with regret in our life, it's important that whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever we give out, we should have a check and balance, whether that thing is good or is bad. Mr. Gibson, we know that you are facing some internet issue. We are sorry about that though, and I hope you have fixed that. Okay. So while you are away, we talk about, is regret avoidable? Is it actually avoidable? Can one avoid regret? So what's your own perspective on that?
Well, I think it can be avoided. It depends on the actions that we take. Like I just gave that, I gave analysis about intergenerational ethics. Is ethics that is broad. It affects even the in a financial context, to climate change, in the government, family, everywhere. That is why we have today the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So those are steps that the government, the global government governance is, are taking to see how best to safeguard the future. So that is intergenerational ethics, because they don't want us to get in the future with regret. So it can be avoided from the initial stage. So, for example, if you don't want to regret something in the future, you can start working on it now. You can start erecting checkpoints. If it is family wise, you can start working on your family, your children, start installing, or like that discipline that you want to see in them in the future, so that you cannot, have regret in the future. So it can be avoided when we take the necessary actions. So that's my take on that.
So, what are some of those necessary actions you would like to share with us for the common man, though?
Oh, okay. So family wise, like one of the step is education, right? You wouldn't want to
Okay.
regret that seeing your children in the future being downplayed, or like being down there in society. So you have to invest in their education. You have to invest more in their education, so that tomorrow they can be better in society. And as another thing, it could be your finance. You can manage your finance well, so that in the future you cannot, so that you cannot have some financial issues. So, for example, if you are receiving money now, and you it's coming, you are in your early days, money coming and something, you have to think about the future. If it will cause you to invest in a long-term investment, you have to invest, so that tomorrow you can go cashless. Yeah, so also relationship too. If you want to be successful in your relationship, you have to build trust. You have to be trustworthy from the beginning, so that tomorrow in the future you will have your internal peace. So I think it is vast. It is something that we as young people especially, we should take seriously, because our futures matter. So those are some of the steps that we should take.
Thank you for being practical. And this is it, guys. To our followers and viewers and supporters who are watching, the message has been spoken by our three incredible speakers. And I would like to, throw your attention to this thing. If you don't want any financial loss now and in the near future, Mr. Gibson is saying that we have to be financially disciplined. We all have to be financially disciplined. Let alone, we talk about you leaving from your house to the next person's house to go and borrow. Lending money or getting money from others, borrowing money from others. Yes, we know it's good though, but not when you are being financially indisciplined. So if we don't want to enter into any financial loss tomorrow that we're going to regret, that we're going to soak our pillows with tears, beginning now, and he also threw light on, if you don't be if they don't want to be categorized as someone or anything, who now hard time that formal education, it could be a technical skill or whatever. If you don't want to have that regret tomorrow, in the near future, it is your responsibility now. We are making this recommendation to you to find yourself in any school so as to acquire a certain level of education. And he also talk about relationship. We see many, breakups these days. And at the end, people be like, if I have known, if you had known, come on. So before you ever say those, clauses to yourself, before you ever make those kind of statement or that question though to yourself, you have to set the guardrails now. The guardrails have to be set. You have to build the barricade. Okay, I want to be successful in my relationship. I want to marry the man of my life. I want to get married to the woman of my life. So what am I to do? What position can I put myself in so as to get the man of my life, so as to get the woman of my life? So it's important that those necessary things, those necessities, like commitment, like submission, like loyalty, like being faithful, we ought to practicalize all these things. And as we practicalize these things, on a day-to-day basis and be consistent enough, God is going to give us our own wives and our own husbands. So educational wise, get yourself in school. Financial wise, let's all be financially disciplined. And relationship wise, it's important that we have loyalty, we have commitment, faithfulness, and submission in us. Thank you guys for sharing your thoughts on whether regret can be avoided or not. And we're going to transition to this thing called second chance. Because when the mistakes have been made, we now wait on others to give us second chance, or we wait on life itself to give us second chance. And not everyone is going to give, the other person second chance. I think some of us, we are victim of that. Not many people give people second chance. Once you messed up, you messed up. The person moved on. I think we all see, that kind of write up on Facebook, on TikTok. I've moved on. I can never come back. No, it's already too late. Yes, we all know that. I'm telling you. So, what say you, Miles? What say you on second chance? Is second chance a stepping stone for us to come back, or we are not to get a second chance from the next person? What say you on that?
Thank you. Thanks so much, Philip. Like I usually say, right? Our topic for today is a very good thing. The thing about second chance is very good, but sometimes it comes with a lot of disadvantages. It
Why say
comes with a
that?
lot of things. Yeah, Philip. Let's take for example, right, Philip? You are into a relationship with somebody, right? Where you wrong this individual, right? You wrong them, and you have begged them for some times, and maybe they are saying that they are made up their minds, whatever thing it might be, they are made up their mind. They don't want to return, and then you forcefully force them to come back, in the name of second chance. It have happened, right? Some of us have had that experience, and you get that second chance. At the end of the day, now, uh, you have a lot of disadvantages. Sometimes because of that little chance you have been given, they use that chance against you to do whatever they want to do to you. They use that chance to say whatever they want to say
Okay.
to you in the name of, yes, you have wronged before. But
Okay.
mind you, like I said, right, it's sometimes good in some cases, but in some cases it is not necessary, because sometimes allowing people back within your space, you don't. The next intention, because the first thing they might think of, the next thing that person will do to me will be more than what they have done. But sometimes you leave people with their conscience. Sometimes, right? So I'll say to you, it's good in some cases, but in some cases it is not good. So, but in general, I would say we as a believers, when we come to our Christian side, right, we come from our religious side, let me say, we as a believer must always learn to give people second chance whenever they are wrong us. Because even the God that we serve, whenever we go short, he what? He still give us that chance to come back to him. Because mind you, yeah, people can learn from those mistakes they made. People can learn from those mistakes. And those mistakes have become a great lesson for individuals and help individuals to build, right? So you giving somebody another chance is in two phases. Well, either they come back, with more respect or more whatever thing that caused them to do that, or sometimes they come with more regret to you that you even feel bad, but you have to give them that space to come back. So I would say, like I said, it's good, but in some instance, it is not good in some instance. So we leave it open. You have to see what instance is good for you and which one is harmful for you. Thank you so much, Philip.
Thank you. And I like the way you left that open. So Queen is going to close that up for us. She's going to tightly close that because we don't want that gap open now. Queen, can you close that gap for us? Let's hear you out.
Philip, don't put me problem on my so.
No, I'll put you on the
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. So from my perspective, I see second chance to be it's necessary, and I see it to be as a wake up call for us, for you, for believers, for those that in relationship or even in their life, I see second chance to be a wake up call because once you make mistake at first, sometimes it's all of ignorance, sometimes it's intentional, sometimes you want to try to see how it works. So if it does not work like that, once you are given second chance, I don't want to see, I don't want people to see or you to see it as a right, but you see it as a privilege, wherein you have to rectify all these mistakes, to prove yourself to be right or to improve. So I see second chance as it's supposed to be given to everyone. Yeah, that's how, because let's take for example, if someone is sick and then there was almost let's just say to be at death, right? And then God gave them the second chance, I don't see it as a right, or I don't want people to see it as a right, but it's a privilege because once you come back, you have to do everything, to work in alignment with God word, to work and like the way you never worked before. Coming to a relationship, second chance should be given in as much as all human beings are, eligible to do mistakes. Once someone makes mistakes, second chance should be given that. But I don't want the opponent to see as as a right to let's just say to infringe on our friend rights, but you should see as an improvement, not to take it for granted. So yeah, second chance is necessary. It should be given to everyone. So that's my perspective. Thank you.
And you made a point which I would like to do a follow-up question on. Like, do you think that person is coming back to actually freely submit to you, freely respect you, or they are going to respect you and submit to you or be committed to you in fear? What say you on that? Because it's a privilege. Now you, Queen, has given me this privilege. Thank you. You have given me this privilege. Before time, I just, misbehaved. I did what I could do. And then you got me out of your life. After a certain time of your own consideration, you brought me back. You be like, I'm bringing you back, blah, 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 due to whatever reason. Do you think I'm going to freely submit to you? Do you think I'm going to freely commit to you? Do you think I'm going to be I'm going to be free in whatever I do, or I'm going to do them with fear? So I'm looking at freedom and I'm looking at fear. What say you on that?
So that drives my mind into what we call value. Perhaps the first time that you did that, you didn't value what you have. There's a saying that says you never know the importance of the well in your house if it runs dry. So maybe perhaps the first time you didn't understand the value of that person or take them for granted. But once you later on realize, you have value for that person, I don't think that, that you will want to try to change things and get it, which of course will get the same old result. So a lot of people come by second chance, they come by good, because that first one, it was not really intentional, and some was intentional, but it was served that. That goes to the prodigal son in the Bible. When the prodigal son erred, he was accepted and he came back within it. So most people come back with their heart, but nowadays, when it comes to relationship, others see it as like it's a free ride that the person will keep forgiving because they are in love. So that's my perspective.
Okay, I got you. I got your point. So it's clear that whenever we've been given the privilege to come back into the next person's life, it's important that we need not, operate in fear or we operate in freedom, but we should operate in value, like Queen said. So that which got us out of the person's life, we should put an X to it or stop to those things. And the right things should be done by us willingly and freely. We need not, be in the relationship. We need not be in the workspace. We need not be, in that friend circle with fear. But we should be there with the right mindset, and the things that are required of us to do, we do them gently. Thank you, Miss Quinn. Mr. Lee T. Gibson, our incredible guest. Do people deserve second chances? If yes, are there limits?
Okay, so thank you, Dolo. When we look at the word second chance, I think it's mandatory. It has been instructed by by God in the scripture. If you look at the Lord's Prayer, there's a portion there that says, uh, "Forgive us as we forgive those who trespass against us." So I think it is an instruction that has been given to us. So we need to give second chance to our fellow men because we err, we make mistake and something like that. But here is the issue: those are making those mistakes. Are they in a position to correct those mistakes? I have one policy, right? If you make mistake and you ask me for pardon or forgiveness, I'm willing to do that. But make sure to not repeat the same mistake. You could make another mistake if it is maybe something like maybe improving on the first mistake, but you made another mistake. That is okay. But if you are consistently repeating this, the same mistake, meaning it is not a mistake, it is intentional, it is deliberate. So there should be checkpoints. So, for example, if you and that person, you people are very close, you need to draw a line, you need to draw boundaries, and you need to see how best to to protect yourself too. Because sometimes the mistakes that people make against us is sometimes affect our emotions, it affect our lives. So we gotta be careful too. So I think it should have boundary. It should not be something, every time see mistakes, every time no, we should try to improve. Yeah. So I think there should be boundaries.
Okay, thank you. So let me escalate this entire conversation on the second chance thing, because our focus here tonight is, can people rebuild their broken identity? So that is to say, in the second chance scenario, I have destroyed my image to Miles, my image to Queen, Miss Queen, my image to Mr. Gibson, and the rest of the people. Now, it's about rebranding, how I rebrand myself so these people can consider my actions to bring me back in their cycle. So I want us to be practical, giving a practical solution. How or what are those things, for better choice of words? What are those things which are needed to be done by that person who had destroyed their identity and they wanted second chance from the other party? What are those
I
practical
cannot hear
steps?
Dolo.
Yes.
Myers, can
Can
you
you
hear
hear?
me?
Yes, you're
Yeah,
audible.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not hearing Dolo. Okay, let me go and come back.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay. So whilst he does that, let me kind of, restate what I was saying. Miss Queenie Myers, right? I have tarnished my reputation. I have destroyed my identity in the eyes of you guys, in the presence of you guys. And I actually desire a second chance of forgiveness from you too. And the question is, not question, but the thing here is, what can I do to be able to get on the right path that you will see reason to give me that second chance, that deserving second chance? Miles, can you tell us?
Thank you, Philip, so much for the question again. Philip, getting a second chance or gain that confidence back from people is something that is not easy. It's something
Right.
that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort from you as an individual. So the
Hmm.
first thing you need to do, you coming back to somebody, you have to come back there with firstly that commitment.
Hmm.
And now you coming back to that person, your yes should be yes, your no should be no. You should come with that
Intentional.
commitment. Yeah. And you don't have to come, like you don't have to come in the sense like you want to judge the person who you are asked for a second chance, but you think really the person, you have to come very open to that person. You have to be you have to come with that open mind to that person, and those things that cause you to default with that person, you have to stay away from it. Like I said, you have to remain committed, remain focused. Yeah. Do not be the one speaking for that person that you are seeking second chance for, that have allowed you within their space. Remain
Hmm.
focused and do what you can do, because when you are doing what you can do within yourself, that person has something within there we call conscience. their conscience will beat them as to whether, yeah, I think this person has finally changed. Fair, let's take for
Hmm.
example, a guy who was in the ghetto, maybe any of
Hmm.
our relative, right? Maybe I had a brother who been in the ghetto for so long, right? And all of a sudden he come and say, "Oh, my people, I have changed, this ghetto life, is something that I feel like it is not profiting me in other things. So I'm coming back to the horse. Philip, you come back to the horse now. Automatically people are gonna be so skeptical on you. They're gonna be so careful on how they treat you and other things. But you have to prove them wrong that those carefulness that you people having in mind for me. No, I'm not that kind of person. If I used to steal before, no, I'm not going to steal again. So there will be a lot of chances they will give you. They will try you so many ways, right? Sometimes you see they will put, they will put money somewhere, they will put something somewhere just to know the kind of confidence. So you just leave it open. But you that come back with that thing, the people they are watching you, but you are not the one to speak for them. They themselves, as time go on, will try to understand that yes, this person has finally desist from that
Thank you,
particular
Myers.
act. So you have to leave it
Thank you,
open.
Myers.
Thank you.
So you are not the one to blow your own whistle that you are a changed person.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you
leave
are
it with the
not the
person
one
who gives
to,
you the second chance.
right. It is the person who gives you the second chance, can actually tell whether or not you are a changed person. So, Mr. Gibson, while you're away, the condition here is okay. The second chance has been given, to you, right? But how can you maintain the second chance? How can you maintain the second chance? What are those practical steps you ought to follow?
Yeah, so I think if you have been given second chance, you should try to work on your actions, your character, and try to erect checkpoints to where you made mistakes, and try to recognize them, and always, remind yourself of them to not make those same mistakes. So I think you have to be very conscious about the first mistakes, and you'll be very careful of your steps, and to not try to avoid being engaged into that mistake again. So it is important that you, even if you have notepad, right, like I did before, right, I made a mistake, and in my relationship, so I was told that it was a mistake, and then I tried to to record it down in my notepad so that I can repeat those mistakes. So what happens is that if you are conscious about those mistakes that you made, you will find yourself improving. You will find yourself avoiding those mistakes. But if you just like, oh, since I have been given second chance, I can do whatever again, I will still be given another chance. No, you have to be conscious about the mistakes you made, and you should also be aware of the pain you cause, the pain that it brings, the mistake you made, the pain it brings to your partner or to the opposing partner or whatever relationship. So I think it's important that we take note of that so that we can improve our daily life.
Thank you. So, Miss Queen, can we hear you out on this one? Okay, I think Miss Queen is kind of in. All right, guys, and I like the way you both talk about habit change. You got made mention. Queen, are you back? I think you have to go off and come back on due to your internet connectivity. Yeah. So I like the fact that you two spoke about habit change. I've come to realize that apologies don't change our identity. In as much as we apologize, how many times we do apologize, it doesn't change our identity from bad to good. Come on. We just use words to apologize. And there are patterns. Yeah. There are patterns we ought to follow. Like you guys try to lay out those patterns. But I would like us to, dive deeper into that. There are patterns we ought to follow. Because identity is shaped by our repeated behavior. Our identity, if we ever had a bad identity that made someone to block us out of their cycle, someone to remove us from their cycle if we ever did wrong. So that particular thing which we did that got us out of a certain cycle, we have to change them. We have to change them. So our identity, in order to rebuild our identity, it is to be shaped by our repeated behavior, the good ones, not the bad ones. So Miles, can you say to us, if someone says they have changed, I say to you that I am a changed God. What evidence should you look for in that my statement to you? If I ever said to you that, Miles, I'm sorry, I did this, I did that, I did my worst, but trust me, that I'm a changed God, I'm a changed girl. I ain't going to do those things any longer. So, what evidence should you, Miles, look for in that person?
Thank you, Philip. Thank you so much for that. Let's take, for example, the first time you lied to me on certain things and you coming back to me and saying I'm a changed person and other things. The first thing I will look for is you being honest, your honesty. I will
I
look for
like
that
that.
seriously. You being very honest on being when it comes to some things that will happen, you just being honest to me, and then that not to polish anything. Because if you tell somebody that yes, indeed, this thing I've done, I've changed from it, you come back, the next thing they expect from you, if everything that you do, you should be honest with them. Whether be it wrong or right, it's honesty they look for in you, right? That's the only time people can regain
Right.
that confidence or can gain that respect in you. So I will circle around honesty. The first thing I will look for in you is honesty. Yeah. And the next thing I will look for
If
in
you
you
ever told lies,
is the next thing I will look for in you is commitment. That promises you are made, whether you are going to stand by it. There are some people, right? Whenever they ask for forgiveness or what have you, in the first 1 to 2 weeks, you see that they put a very nice behavior. They submit themselves, right? But after some time, do they live? Do that thing live longer? Do they live longer than submissions? It lives just for a short period of time, right? So I'll look for continuous, right, commitment. That commitment, you say, okay, I won't do it again. So I'm not just looking at that person movement of time, right? Like people can say, okay, and you say you're not do it, and people here talking to me, right, in a scenario, right? And people here talking to me that because they hear you are saying you're not do it. Let the people then just go and we'll see whether you're not do that same thing you did before. And right after that, people then leave in a trimming of an hour, you go and repeat the same thing again. So right away, your commitment, you are not somebody who really, committed to things, right? You somebody who you can be shaking and rocking in what kind of way. So I'll stop there for now. Like I said, I look for your honesty first, and secondly, your commitment. I stand by what you say to me. That's me. I stand by what you say to me. When you come by and tell me, say, I'm pink today, I look always I want to see you pink. The day you turn brown or maroon, it become problem now. Try to doubt you again. And mind you, the person you're asking now for forgiveness, once they try to move their minds from on you now, my brother, you finish, you just lead to where you lead here now. So that's how it happens sometimes.
so guys, it's entirely upon you that if you ever told lies to any of your friends, your relationship, your family, or whoever, whenever, whatever you told lies to, you can go off and come back on, sir. Mr.
Mr.
Gibson?
Gibson,
I'm not hearing.
Yeah, go off and come
you have
back
to
on,
go in
please.
front.
So it's entirely upon us, Myers, that if we have been seen or considered as liar, right? When coming back asking for mercy, when coming back seeking for second chance, we are to be honest and honest to the letter. Otherwise, whatever we do in between will be checked against us. Whatever we do in between will be held against us. So it's important, guys, if we were once liar and then coming back for a second chance, let us practice the act of honesty. This is one way you can rebuild your broken identity. If your earlier identity was a liar, please rebuild that identity that lie identity of you into a very honest identity. And Myers talk about lack of commitment. So in your relationship, in your family, in your service, your job, your responsibility, if you ever lack commitment and you were blotted out, you were written off, you were being fired, now you're coming back for reinstatement. So if you are coming back, it's entirely upon you to be a committed person. That's another way Maya said that we can rebuild our broken identity. It's good to have Mr. Lee T. Gibson and that of Miss Queen back, here with us again. And the question is, if someone says to you, Mr. Gibson, that they have changed, if I said to you, Mr. Gibson, this thing that I did to you the other time, I retrospect and I'd be like, okay, I didn't do well. I'm so sorry. Give me second chance. I wouldn't do that thing again. So if I said to you that I'm a changed man, if that girl said to you that she's a changed lady, what evidence should you look for to be able to acknowledge that the person is a changed individual?
Yeah, like Maya said, right? We look at honesty, and also we look at the action. It's not only to just say that you have changed, but we are going to observe your action, how you going to, respond afterward, how you going to behave. So I think I'm going to look at your actions. I'm going to look at your behavior, your character, to know whether you have changed. Not just listening to all of those beautiful words that you are going to tell me. So I have to look at your actions. They're going to speak volume, and it's going to tell me that yes, indeed, you have changed from that. But there are some mistakes, like there are some mistakes in other places that they don't have to get second chance. For example, if you are working with a company and then you are caught into malpractice or financial fraud or what have you, immediately you will be sacked. So there are some mistakes. There are some people they don't give second chance. Even in relationship, there have been several divorce cases where the partner caught another partner cheating. So they did not give second chance. They ended the relationship. So there are some action. It doesn't require a second chance, to be honest. But if I want to give you a second chance, it will not be based on those beautiful words that you are going to give me, but it's going to be based on your action. Yes. So thank you.
Yes, Mr. Gibson, you said if you were to give second chance, it's not going to be based off the person's word, the person's apology, because like I said previously, our apologies don't change anything. Our apology don't change our broken identity. It does not rebuild our broken identity, right? Now, what say you unto me, having destroyed, broken my identity? What are those values I can use to rebuild my broken identity so that you can see it evidently and you now acknowledge that yes, you are a changed man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said, right? I think your action, like if you reimagine, you rethink about your mistakes, and you started to take those necessary action, it's going to tell me that yes, indeed, this person is ready for life. But like I said, right, even though apology is important, it is important because you have to express, you have to be remorseful and you have to express it out. You have to apologize. But it will not be based on your apologies that you will be given second chance. Sometimes it will be based on your action. Maybe that apologies will just allow that person to create that space, to will give you that opportunity to to rebrand yourself, to reimagine yourself, and try to correct the mistakes that you have already made. So I think your actions is going to be the necessary key to that.
So, what are some of those? Miss Queen, are you here with us? Okay, so we're going to take you on again, Mr. Okay, let's take Myers. Myers, Mr. Gibson said actionable steps. So what are some of those actionable steps that we can take? Like some of those, values, those are like accountability, commitment, honesty, loyalty, faithfulness. Yes. What are some of those, actionable steps we can take?
What are some of those actionable steps we can take for one? The first thing I would say, my brother, you talk about forgiving one, right? You talk about in the instant of
Yeah.
forgiving one, right?
Hmm.
Philip, uh, I will tell you that the first thing is when we talk about forgiveness, is in two phases. Like I look at a religious war, and then that of
Hmm.
our own personal wars and what have you when it comes to relationship and other things, right? So
Hmm.
what are some of the steps? The first thing you have to observe. Observation is one of
Hmm.
the major things you have to
Right.
observe, because people coming back, you have to observe the motive that they're coming back with. So you have to observe them very carefully and try to know, whether they are really open with that comeback, they come back. But if you don't observe people and you just accept them that, yeah, oh, because the person, maybe it might be your relative, whoever feel it, whenever they
Hmm.
come back for second chance or whatever means, observe them very well, because the observation you are carrying on is for your own safety. It's your own safety
Okay.
measure. It help
Okay.
you a lot, right? Because the person
Hmm.
might come back in a pretending form, and they might be very harmful to you. They are coming back. So what I would say, the first thing you must do is
Hmm.
to observe them. Yeah, that's why I'll stop here for now. Observation is really needed. Thank you.
Okay. So, guys, it's important that as you destroy your accountability, because there where maturity is, when we are able to own our own mistakes without giving excuses. So, if you want to rebuild your accountability skill as a person, it's important that you ought to take control of your own excuses, right? Do not, I'm sorry, do not, give excuses whenever you make mistakes. Do not give excuses. Take responsibility, take accountability of the mistakes you make, because accountability is maturity right there. So if you say a man is mature or a woman is mature, it's based off that person's accountability being in action. So let us build our broken identity by being people of accountability. Then we emerge to being mature. Let's have this mindset of honesty. Let's have this mindset of responsibility. Let us not be careless of things. Let us not. Let us not be careless of things. Let's be careful with how we treat others. Let's be careful. Let's be cautious with what we say to others. Let's mind our words. Let's be mindful. Let us all practice mindfulness with what if? What if? Always ask this question. In order to rebuild your broken identity, before you do anything, always ask this question. What if I did this? What if I did that? What is the reaction of the next person? So let's be mindful of how we do things. So fast forward, we're going to take, a musical break, just 10 seconds, and we come back for the second half. We call it a day. So while coming back for the second half, is going to be super heavy, and you guys have to be more practical with your responses. Thank you.
We are new. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into
Okay. Are we all back in studio? Yeah. Miles, are you here with us?
Yeah,
Miss Queen, are you here with
yeah,
us?
yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Miss Queen, we are sorry that you've been left out due to your internet connectivity, but now we are about to
It's
we have the
okay.
last four. Yes, ma'am.
I was saying no issues.
Okay, ma'am. So we have the last 4 minutes to end today's episode on rebuilding our broken identity. So, guys, let's maximize the last 4 minutes of this episode. And we're going to end with this, last question. But before I read out the question to us, I would like to say something in just few seconds. Like, I did reflect, and I was like, today we see many young people, including ourselves, right? We are silently carrying labels. People have labeled us as a failure to society, disappointment, unworthy, lack of commitment. Like Maya said, we are lack of commitment, immature because we don't take accountability of what we do, right? Irresponsible because we don't respond to our responsibilities responsibly. Indisciplined, we are not disciplined with time, with money. So we tend to silently carry those labels that has been placed on us by people. And I also, took a break in and I was like, yeah, those labels exist, but those labels do not define our destiny because change is constant, because growth is possible. So, this is our concluding question that I would like you to maximize the time and give your level best on this, whatever you have to say to your people. Miss Queen, what is one habit someone must change to rebuild their identity? What is that one habit that someone must change today to rebuild their entire identity for 100 years to come?
Okay, so I would say acknowledgement. A lot of people, you don't acknowledge what they did. One of the men I really, really love in the Bible is Santere. You know, imagine when I was reading the Bible back then, and then everything that Santere does, imagine killing whole king wife and a king and marrying a wife, and still God look at it man and say he's the apple of my eyes. Because the
Hmm.
Bible says anytime Santere does wrong, he always acknowledge that. The idea of acknowledgement is trying to say, I will not do this. I have realized, I have identified this thing I'm doing. Because young people nowadays, they don't identify what they are doing is wrong or what they have done before is wrong. So at the end of the day, they keep using the same pattern. If you are in relationship or in your workplace or anywhere, any aspect of your life, you do wrong. You don't want to hold accountability. Everything you justify, every little thing you justify. It tells you that you are not willing to change. You are not willing to change today, you are not willing to change. So if you want to be a young person that will be exceeding in life, that even God look at you and say you are apple of my eyes too bad. Even if your boss will look at you today and say, I love this guy, you will always learn to acknowledge your sin. As Kibu and Nazareth did in the Bible says Kibu and Nazareth immediately he acknowledged like the life he was living, everything he had was God. The Bible says his sanity or restore. So
Hmm.
we should come to yeah. I don't want to go in there before. Yeah, so that's just my
Acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is one habit that we must, commit ourselves to so that we can have a rebranded identity. So I will say the question again to Mr. Myers, then we come to Mr. Gibson, because after here we do our party statement. right? We take our parting statement. Mr. Myers, like, let's look at the negative aspect. Miss Queen just, spoke positively on acknowledging the good things we do and the bad things we do. And the good things we do, we tend to do them more often, consistently, which is going to turn into our identity, right? And also the bad things we do, we ought to put an X to them, stop to them, and tend to do the right thing. So here's the question again to you, Mr. Myers. Give us your level best, just in 1 minute. What is that one habit, bad habit? What is that one bad habit that you think is greatly affecting young people today that they must change to rebuild their identity?
Thank you. So, like I usually state that honest, so I'll tell you is dishonestly, right? Being very dishonest to people.
Hmm,
If we
hmm,
just
hmm,
recognize that we can stop, being dishonest to people and talking the truth, our society today are being affected by people being dishonest to people. People are no more loyal.
hmm,
We are no more loyal to people. What we say to people, we do another thing. So one of the things that today that once we decide to leave these things, and it's going to be something that will help us a lot, is being unloyal or disloyal to people.
yeah.
Once we try to leave disloyalty and try to be loyal to people, when we try to lead this honestly and be honest to people, we will have a better future. We will have a great lifestyles,
Hmm,
because it's good to tell people the truth. Nothing but the truth can set you free. I have been affected of it a lot of time. Sometimes we feel like, yes,
hmm,
let me just do it this way. We are so afraid, like we are afraid sometimes to be loyal to people or to be honest to people, because we are far sighted. Like, if I be bold to the person and tell them everything, will the person still try to consider me? So let me try to polish it, and sometimes polishing it can lead you to that place that you don't want to see yourself. I usually say place that you don't want to see yourself. Me, I don't know that place, but it's just place that you don't want to see yourself. So we must practice to be very loyal and stop being disloyal to people, because disloyalty, it leads you to where that even your lifetime you suffer that negative things in your life. So
hmm,
you will live with that guilt will live within you, because you
hmm,
was like, if I knew, right? That's where we come with the question, if I knew, I should have said this thing to the person, because I never
hmm,
say this where I've led today. So I'll tell you that one of these things that we need to do is to stop being disloyal to people and
hmm.
stop being dishonest. The same thing, stop being dishonest to people and be very truthful to them. The truth, but nothing
Thank
but the
you for
truth.
that
If they want to
powerful
be with you,
insight.
they will.
Thank you for that powerful insight. Let's build on that, Myers. We're going to build on your insight. Thank you so much for that. Mr. Lee T. Gibson, the word is watching. Your people are listening to you attentively. What is that one bad habit you know that is greatly affecting the word, specifically our young people in Liberia, that they must change? Urgency. They must change to rebuild their identity. Let's hear you out in 1.5 minutes, and then we take our parting statements.
Well, so thank you, Dolo. And for me, I think it will be, renewing of the mind. We have to renew our
Hmm.
mind. It's going to help us. We have to rebrand ourselves. We have to change the inner narratives. We have to, you know, do away with those negativities, and we can, move from, like, I'm not enough to, yes, I'm growing. I failed. Let move from I failed to what I have learned. Something. So if we make mistakes, or if we are faced with challenges and we have failed in life, we should not dwell on that, and we stop pushing forward. We have to keep learning. We relearn, we learn, and what have you. So we have to renew our mind, because it is, it's very important for us to rethink our future, rethink our nation, rethink our society, and let us see how things are going on in our country, especially Liberia, so that we can see how best to renew our mind. We should not follow the same old pattern, like the entire society is corrupt. Therefore, when you enter into the system, you should be corrupt too. No, we have to renew our mind. So I think I would choose renewing of the mind. Thank you.
A renewing of the mind. We need not be conformed to the formal nature of this word. We need not be conformed to the patterns of this word, the evil patterns of this word. We need not be conformed to the evil of this word. We need not be conformed to the bad habits of this word. Corruption, lies, irresponsibility, immaturity, deceit. We need not be conformed to these things. Lack of commitment, fraud. We need not be conformed to these things. We are ought to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And what can we get into our mind? We should have within us today. Let's be people of accountability. Myers also said, let's be people of loyalty and honesty. Let's speak the truth. Let's be committed to people. Let's not only people, but let's be committed to ourselves, to our own personal development. Let's be committed to our own growth. Let's be committed to our relationship with God and people. Let's be committed to our children, responding to our responsibility. Let's be committed to our obligation, our legal obligation and our moral obligation. Let's be committed to our faith. Let's be committed to what we say we are and who we dreamed of becoming. Let's be committed to that person. Let not failure hold us back. Let not disappointment hold us back. Let us not be coerced by others to do the worst. Nope. We said no. So we're going to take part in statement from Miss Queen. Then we come to Niles, the CEO, and then come to our amazing and incredible guest, Mr. Gibson. Then we call this a night. Let's hear you out, Miss Queen. Oh, unfortunately, we have lost Miss Queen. I think that was a party statement.
Miss Queen disappear in thin air.
Yeah, in thin air. I like that, in thin air. So, Mr. Myers, I think you're going to play dual role here. You're going to, just use 2 minutes. Your 1 minute plus Miss Queen, 1 minute. Let's hear you answer.
Okay, Phil, I don't know what I feel like you have heard this song. It says, I'll be committed to you and I will not leave you. Nothing in this world can make me, run away.
God,
I would
come
like
on,
to
guys.
say this and say to our people, no matter the circumstances we go through.
This is Pastor's son, so he knows all
Yeah.
the sons.
Yes, that's the
So no matter the challenges we go through, no matter those circumstances, no matter the pressure we are being placed under, let me say this to us, like, no matter how broken you feel, like, no, I cannot come back. No matter how you feel your life may be, there is still a second chance. And I would say when this second chance has been given to you, you should make use of that second chance. Do not misuse those second chance when it's been given to you. Do everything in your own way. Even the Bible taught us, like most of us, we measure scriptures today. I talk from the book of Proverbs, and a lot of people measure scriptures. The Bible says the righteous man will fall 70 times 7. But what happens when you fall? Don't remain there. When you have made a mistake that you feel like this mistakes, is something that cannot be, I cannot get away again. When you have been given that hope, that chance to come back, when you come back, try to not go back again. Like Philip was singing a song here, I will never go back. No, don't go back again. Don't never turn back to it. Because when you turn back now, those people that you are asked for, for second chance, those people you are asked, to forgive you, when they leave you now, no matter how you can come out again to polish it, it will be something away in your ears. Remember Paul said, because of grace, should we continue? Oh, because I allow you to come again. So you cannot, I'm going to just allow you to do anything you want to do, that how you want it to be like? No. When you come back, people expect you to come with that honest mind. People expect you to come back with
Right.
that mindset of being shift. So if you come back and you are
Right.
still doing those things that is now relevant, that are irrelevant to
Mm,
people, when they let you to go now, they are let you to go for good. No matter how you can polish yourself to come back, they won't allow you in their space. Mind you, people
mm,
deal with space. People get certain
mm,
time that their space have been open to you. When you cannot manage that open space that has been given to you, what happens at the end of the day when they allow you to go? It becomes so problem for you. And the last thing I would say, to we that people come to ask for forgiveness, and we give them that second chance. Let's leave it open with them. Let's leave our minds open with them. Let not be the one to be overthinking. Let not be the one to
mm,
be so judgmental to them. Because even we
mm,
ourselves, people also forgive us. Even
mm,
ourselves, we are doing things, beyond that person, doing to us. So when we have given them that second chance, let leave them. Let give them the benefit. That's what I call the benefit of the doubt. And let them prove themselves right or wrong. Let not be on them with that fear. Because when you make people to be so afraid now, they even pretend they do things just because they want to please you, but at a certain point of time when they things go and they try to change and go back to who they are. So I hope that we can take this advice today, and it's going to help us as an individual. It's going to help us in our society, and we're going to be a better people. So I want to say thank you so much for the time, and I do appreciate you, Mr. Philip Dodo, for always being here with us. Thank you. And to my senior brother, Lee T. Gibson, also thank you for always coming through whenever you are being called away. To Miss Queen, thank you so much for tonight, and I appreciate the time given to me.
Thank you so much for being that committed gentleman as well. And thank you for sharing with us and our followers your powerful insights to our conversation this week. You've been so outstanding throughout the conversation. You have shared your wisdom with us, you have shared experiences with us, and we are blessed. We are rebranded by all those powerful insights you spewed out. Thank you, sir. So let's go on to Miss Queen for her parting statement.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are beautifully audible.
I respect you when it comes to praising people, but yeah. So let me
Her.
say thanks to our guest, Mr. Gibson. Thank you
I think Miss Queen is having some trouble with her.
for
Miss Queen, there is a distortion in your voice. There is a distortion in your voice. We just can hear you out. Oh my gosh. Miss Queen, we have lost you. Okay. Mr. Gibson, can you do for us your parting statement? Myers, can
Okay, so
you test Miss Queen and tell her that we have actually lost her? Please go ahead, sir.
okay, so thank you, Mr. Dolo. Thanks to Myers. Thanks to our listening audience. Thanks to the commenters. I was just reading some of the comments, and I realized that there's this person, I think Zenembu, right? Toure. She's always commenting whenever I appear. I always see her comment. I want to say thank you
Oh
for it.
wow.
She's one of
Yeah.
our team member. One of the team
Oh,
member.
okay. I see. I see.
But she's
Wow.
not
She's
well.
very consistent.
She's not well. She's not well today. That's why she's not, part of the show. She might be
Oh, okay.
facing
I'm
some health
sorry. I
issues.
wish you speedy recovery. Okay, so thank you, Dolo. It was a great show tonight. We share our experiences, our ideas, thoughts, and what have you. So it was a great show. Like Maya was saying, right? So nothing much to say though. We just have to encourage one another how to live with people, how to coexist, how to forgive one another, how to rebrand ourselves, how to correct our mistakes, and something like that. So I think in my mind, my parting statement, I think it would be like whenever you make mistake, you should account for your mistake and you should rectify your mistake. Because if you account for it, you take full responsibility, and taking full responsibility, it leads you to doing the right thing. So that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining, and we hope to be here again next week. Thanks to everyone. Thanks.
Yes, sir. And again, you've been so instrumental to this conversation for the entire of February from the day one and this present time. You've been so instrumental. You have shared with us all the wisdom God has blessed you with, all the insights you have, and your own personal story has been shared with us on this platform to our listener, to our followers, and our supporter. So we say thank you. It's only God who's going to pay you back, and He's going to multiply all those wisdoms, all those insights, and give you more experiences that you will come back next week to take us on a very fascinating and life-changing episode again. Without further ado, from my end, I would like to leave us with this one, my people. Please, your mistake may be part of your story, or yes, my mistake may be part of my story. Yes, but that is not our glory, because the glory is at the later day. So, what can we do before we walk into our glory is important, by rebuilding those things that have been broken by us. So, your mistakes, know today that it's part of the life you live, but it does not have to be your identity. It does not have to be your identity. If I ever steal today, I should put stop to that before it becomes my identity. My identity in Christ Jesus, in God the Father, is not a thief. It's not being a liar. But I am a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. I'm a king. I carry vision. Our mistakes we made yesterday. You see people like Mr. Lee, the mistakes they made, it did not define them. See how this man is glowing up in studio, Myers. See how the man is going. Yeah, because he corrected his mistakes. And you'd be like, growth. Myers, you said something, and I remember that. You said growth actually rebuilds our identity, our broken identity. So in the process of growth, our broken identity is being rebuilt, because by the day we cannot change those bad behaviors and we change them to the good behaviors, those bad attitudes, those bad habits, we change them into the good ones. And as we change them into the good ones, we grow into becoming great people. So all the mistakes does not have to be our identity. And don't forget, we say regret teaches you. So whatever regret you have now, let it be a lesson. Let it be your teacher. Let it be your God. Because if you live with regret for the rest of your life, I don't think you're going to make it to your 70 or your 60, or your 60 years. I don't think so. So let our regret, if we ever make mistakes today, let our regret serve as our guardrails. Let our regret serve as our lesson and as our teacher, so we need not repeat those bad things any longer. And again, this is one thing very important that we need to consider: accountability. Once you see this person gives an account of what he does or she does, Mr. Myers, Mr. Gibson, that person is mature. That way you see maturity comes in. But everything I give excuses. Come on, you are still a baby. Are you an infant? You aren't. So let us not give excuses for the mistakes we make. Let's take on responsibility. Let's give an account. Because the Bible says in the last day, we're going to give account of whatever we do. Yeah. Oh, wow. Zenebu Toure. Mr. Gibson, are you seeing what's written on the screen? Thank you so much, Mr. Gibson. It is a blessing having you on the team. So thoughtful, Zenebu. We love you. and speedy recovery. She's actually a queen. She's actually a
Okay,
queen.
thank
Myers, you
you.
put that up, right?
You
Myers.
say?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. She's a queen. She's a sweetheart, though. Yeah. So it's important, guys.
Dolo and Princess. Dolo and Princess.
Yeah. So let's change our bad habits. Let's rebuild our bad habits. And second chance will restore us the glory that we want. Yes, identity can be rebuilt. Yes, our broken identity can be rebuilt. But only through consistent action. Only through consistent action. Myers, I like this creativity of you, though. You're very creative. So next time, next episodes, you're going to have all of the comments, put on screen. So Mr. Gibson and all, and the coming or guest can be like, okay, I think I'm making sense. Mr. Gibson, you have spoken well. You see that? Yeah. So that is it, guys. Enjoy your Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday. Go to church. It's already Sunday in China at Mr. Gibson's, and it's already Sunday, in India where we say it. So, 3 a.m. in the morning. Wow. For us, it's 12:23. So, guys, go and have fellowship with the Lord. Enjoy your time in God's presence. And we're going to be here again on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday with another fascinating, life impactful episodes. God bless you till we meet again. I love you. Myers Television to the young people. Good night. Bye, everyone.